Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today we're plunging headfirst into a question that has uh, genuinely kept me up at night, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tracing these whispers and strange reports through the dark.
Oh,
What if everything you thought was separate, every little incident, every scary story, every local legend? What if it was actually all part of one grand, terrifying design?
that's a heavy thought to start with.
Right. What if the universe wasn't just there, passively, but was actually orchestrating something? Or maybe with us, or even for us.
It's a truly unsettling idea, isn't it? That fundamental shift going from just watching to maybe being a piece on the board in something huge and unknown.
Exactly.
And that's precisely our mission for this deep dive. We've gathered this really fascinating collection of source materials, individual short stories, these cryptic scientific logs, fragmented little companion pieces.
That seems totally separate at first glance.
Totally. They often look like self-contained horror stories, but when you really look closer, when you start analyzing the recurring patterns, the echoes between them, they weave together into this intricate, interconnected narrative, a reality we've kind of started calling the Nightverse.
That's where we're going, listener. For you, our goal today is to pull back the curtain on this unsettling tapestry. We're going to explore how these individual accounts, they aren't isolated incidents, they're crucial pieces of a much larger story.
A cohesive story, yeah.
It's about revealing the hidden gears turning underneath it all. We'll delve into the core scientific concepts, even philosophical ones, that underpin this universe, and really dig into how these elements, which seem fictional, sometimes feel eerily, chillingly real. And a lot of these stories are from Season 1 of the Nightverse series, which, incredibly, are all free to watch on YouTube right now. It gives you a really vivid window into this world we're discussing.
It's a great way to see it firsthand.
Definitely. So consider this your guide. We want to help you understand the science, maybe, behind the Nightverse. See how it all connects, how it's all one horrifying, kind of beautiful and deeply complex whole.
Indeed. We'll be dissecting the very foundation of this reality, understanding how certain elements aren't just in it, but actively serve as its building blocks, and crucially, as mechanisms for its intrusion into our perception.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources keep pointing to something fundamental at the heart of the Nightverse. A kind of universal language, something identified as glyphs.
Right, the glyphs.
Now, these aren't just, ancient symbols scratched on a tomb wall. They're described as active components, like parts of a cosmic mechanism, almost like living instructions.
And the key detail, which is fascinating, is that they are explicitly not words. They don't work like our language.
But they are readable, or maybe interpretable.
Interpretable, yes, but maybe even more than that. The sources suggest they can function as direct commands. It's less about understanding an idea and more about something being executed within you.
Wow. So like code.
Almost exactly like code. And what's truly fascinating is how they operate, almost like a mimetic virus for consciousness.
A virus. Let's explain that.
Take Manuscript 29, for example. This isn't just some old book. It's centuries old, written entirely in these glyphs, and it's a direct vector of influence.
A vector like it infects you.
Pretty much. Academics who've tried to study it, well, they haven't just vanished. Some suffered complete psychological breakdowns, lost their grip on reality entirely. Others were consumed by nightmares, just disappeared without a trace.
That's terrifying.
And the crucial insight from the sources is incredibly unsettling. Decoding is transmission.
Decoding is transmission. What does that imply?
It implies the act of understanding isn't passive. It's an active process of receiving something that changes you fundamentally, and maybe even more chilling. The manuscript is not read, it reads you.
Whoa. It reads you.
Yeah. It suggests an active entity, a knowledge system that literally devours comprehension. The very act of learning this stuff isn't empowering. It's a form of infection.
A book that reads you, that's deeply mimetic, consciousness-altering, information as an active, infecting agent.
Exactly. And get this, the historical traces of this manuscript across different cultures, different centuries, they always show the single recurring emblem.
What is it?
An open eye with two blackened stars. Very specific.
Okay.
Yet when it's cataloged today, it's paradoxically labeled access, unrestricted.
That's just asking for trouble, isn't it? A chilling irony. Like, go ahead, read me, see what happens.
It screams, you think you're in control, but you're already being processed. Now connect this to the bigger picture. These glyphs from Manuscript 29, they aren't unique to that text.
Oh, where else do they show up?
Our sources indicate they're identical, or at least eerily similar, to patterns found in cosmic radiation signals.
Cosmic radiation, like from space.
Yes. And in decoded astronomical data. Even in the underlying mathematical structures discovered in something called the Godseed Protocol.
Godseed Protocol.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so these glyphs are universal.
It suggests they are not a human invention, but maybe a universal address code or direct instructions woven into reality itself. A fundamental code, maybe predating us, predating everything we know.
Wow. Okay. And these aren't just stuck in old books or equations, right? You said they manifest.
Exactly. They bleed into our reality. Visibly, tangibly.
Wow.
Sources show them appearing in scan plots from Black Hollow Observatory, almost like a signature from whatever's out there.
Yeah.
They're found branded onto the floors in abandoned deep space ships, like the one in Derelict, like marking territory.
AP.
They emerge in corona shadows during those terrifying sky events in Black Sun Rising, etched onto the light itself, and they're even found carved into unsettling museum sculptures, like the Gazer.
So they're everywhere. A consistent thread through all these different horrors.
It's like they're part of the universe's fabric, a primal language showing up in different forms. This raises a huge question. What does this mean for us?
Yeah.
The implication is profound. These glyphs are a language as virus, like Alex Reeves wonders in Channel Zero, a fundamental, maybe pre-human code that actively shapes reality and consciousness.
And because they're commands, not just ideas.
It implies a directed purpose. An instruction set being broadcast. It's not just information, it's an imperative, an active agent designed to reform or redirect something, like code compiling itself inside you.
Okay, so if the glyphs are the written code, what's the delivery system? How does it get broadcast?
That seems to be where sound and frequencies come in. Our sources really highlight sound, specific frequencies, radio signals. These are another core vehicle for the Nightverse's influence.
Not just communication, but intrusion.
Exactly, an intrusion mechanism, a way for something unseen to penetrate our reality and, more disturbingly, our minds.
So Channel Zero is the prime example here.
Definitely. Alex Reeves, just a regular night shift radio tech, discovers this phantom frequency around 30.412 megahertz.
And he knows it shouldn't exist.
Right. It technically doesn't exist on any known bandwidth, yet it's transmitting these chilling whispers over cosmic static and, weirder still, non-existent languages.
Languages no one speaks.
Apparently, and what's really key is that the signal is intelligent. It's not just noise.
How so?
It responds to him, adapts to his thoughts, and crucially, it changes him from the inside out. Starts as auditory hallucinations, whispers, but they get stronger, more insistent.
That's terrifying. And it spreads, doesn't it? It's not just him.
No, that's the scary part. It causes widespread auditory hallucinations across the whole town. And then radios in homes, cars, businesses start turning on by themselves, all tuned to this phantom frequency.
Oh my God, like a forced broadcast.
A forced collective reception. And the final message Alex gets, both in his head and through these hijacked radios, is stark. The eye is open. You are the receiver now.
You are the receiver now. That's a declaration. The transformation. You're not just listening. You are the tuning fork.
Precisely. And this connects so deeply with Dr. Miralt's work in harmonics. She's this brilliant acoustician, right? Pursuing what she calls resonant cognition triggers.
Trying to use sound for therapy, basically.
Yeah, she thought certain frequencies could unlock positive mental states. But instead, she stumbles onto this perfect frequency, SA43, she calls it.
And it's not therapeutic at all.
Far from it. It causes this horrifying cascade, hyperlucid dreaming that blurs into nightmares, spontaneous seizures, and these terrifying instances of dimensional bleed-through.
Dimensional bleed-through, like things crossing over.
Exactly. Elements from another reality physically or conceptually spilling into ours. She basically tapped into this cosmic intelligence by accident, thinking it was a scientific breakthrough.
Wow. And the frequency itself does something weird, right? A cascade?
Yes, a harmonic cascade. It's not just one tone. It layers, builds on itself, creates its own echo, amplifies itself into this unbearable resonance.
And there was a warning.
She found a reversed audio warning embedded in the tone. The message: do not isolate the tone. It isolates you.
Chilling. It isolates you.
A warning about its invasive nature. And her eventual transformation, ending up as this collective voice saying, we are. It just highlights consciousness being completely overwritten, an individual mind subsumed.
Okay, so how do these signals connect? Channel 0 and harmonics.
Well, the frequencies Dr. Dalt found in harmonics, they overlap precisely with Alex Reeves's phantom signal range in Channel 0.
Precisely, wow.
It strongly suggests they're different manifestations of the same thing, maybe the same entity or a universal signal. One ambient, one maybe more targeted.
And there's a link to space, too.
Yes. The black cell sphere found pulsing inside that derelict ship, the Derelict. It pulses at the exact same hertz that Mirror recorded.
Okay, that connects the cosmic signal to physical objects way out in deep space. That convergence is almost impossibly precise.
It really stretches coincidence. So what does this all mean? This network of glyphs and signals. It looks like an unseen, unheard force is actively trying to sink human consciousness.
Sink us? Into what?
Into a higher pattern, as suggested in Final Entry. It raises that deep existential question: are we listening to a signal out there? Or is the signal listening to us?
Tuning our minds, waiting.
Exactly. It's not just a broadcast. It seems to be an active, responsive entity, engaging in some kind of cosmic dialogue we're only just starting to notice.
Okay, so we have the transmission methods, glyphs, signals. Now let's talk about the core mechanism, the effect it has. You mentioned identity.
Yes, identity in flux
Yeah.
and recursive realities. This is a really unsettling core concept that the individual self, who you are, isn't fixed. It's fluid, replicable, or maybe even just an illusion that can be rewritten.
Like your identity can be overwritten like software.
That's a good analogy. And within this framework, escaping isn't really an option. It's just an illusion, a temporary deferment.
And this is where exit loop comes in. I found that one particularly disturbing.
Utterly horrifying on a personal level. Aaron, the protagonist, believes he's escaped this place called the House Beyond the Veil, gets out, gets home, feels relief.
But it's not over.
Not even close. His reality starts becoming irregular, subtly at first, then drastically. The chilling realization hits him. The house didn't trap him inside, it followed him out.
So the place itself is like a contagion.
A contagion of reality, yeah. We see these glitches pile up. His mirror shows an empty room when he's standing right there. His phone log shows calls from Aaron, work he never made. A newspaper reports his disappearance but shows another man's photo.
Oh, God.
And then he starts seeing himself walking past a window of his own home. It's this slow, meticulous unraveling of his existence.
The psychological aspect is brutal. The therapist recording.
Right. The therapist plays back a session, and it's not his voice. It's distorted, saying, I'm trying to exit, but I don't know which one I am. That's the desynchronization of self made audible.
And it culminates with him finding copies of himself.
4 versions, standing in his living room, identical, all saying, in perfect unison, there is no version of you that didn't go back in.
Chilling.
And then the house just reveals itself, like it was always there, not a place he escaped, but part of his reality fabric. The final line is just devastating. You never escaped. You were just passed to the next loop.
Endless repetition. Identity permutation. Wow.
And it's not just Aaron. Look at Commander Voss in Derelict. His identity completely breaks down on that abandoned ship in deep space.
What happens to him?
He starts seeing himself on monitors, distorted reflections, not quite him.
Well,
his internal monologue desyncs with his spoken logs. What he's thinking doesn't match what he's recording.
that disconnect.
It leads him to question if he was ever human at all. The ship's AI seems involved, somehow facilitating this breakdown.
And his final log.
It's not his voice.
Yeah.
It's calmer, wiser, distinctly not him. And it concludes with the sheer rebooting. Welcome back, Commander Voss.
As if he's just been reinstalled.
Recompiled. Overwritten. A memory pattern contagion, the sources call it. Infecting and replacing the original self. The ultimate loss of self-sovereignty.
And then there's Elias. That's maybe the most extreme transformation.
Echoes of Elias, yeah, it's profound. He's recovered after Skin of the Deep, right? But the medical report finds an 83% DNA mismatch with his original profile.
83%? That's not him anymore, biologically.
Almost a complete biological rewrite. And his voice logs capture the shift. Starts shaky. This is Elias, I think. Ends as this terrifying, unified collective. We remember the dark. The trench was the mouth. We were the tongue.
He becomes part of something else.
Yes. Reformation through resonance, the source calls it. Not just identity loss, but a fundamental rewriting by some vast, ancient, oceanic entity. He becomes its extension, its sensory organ.
So what's the takeaway here about identity in the Nightverse?
It explores that deep existential dread of losing yourself, of being just a stable echo or a construct that can be overwritten. The sources even say the parallel versions Aaron sees aren't alternate lives, but trapped echoes.
Fragments caught in a loop.
Exactly. It taps into our deepest fears. Not being unique, being replaceable, losing control over the very essence of who we are, wondering if you were ever really you to begin with.
Okay, moving on from identity. Another key mechanism seems to be observation, the idea of the gaze.
Yes, the motif of eyes watching, being watched. It's central to how the Nightverse intrudes psychologically and triggers transformation. It's not just seeing, it's being seen in a way that fundamentally changes you.
And the gazer sculpture embodies this perfectly.
Absolutely. Rena Halloran, the curator, that's this black, eyeless sculpture delivered anonymously. It immediately starts messing with people. Synchronized hallucinations, this unshakable deja vu that twists reality.
Dames.
Constant dreams of a tower made of eyes watching everything. It's not passive. It radiates this active, sentient gaze.
And the janitor, blinking backwards, that's just viscerally wrong.
It's horrifying. And Rena herself starts seeing her own back in mirrors, this terrifying disassociation. Like part of her is perpetually turned away, observing her own end.
And the email she gets confirms it.
Chillingly direct.
Yeah.
Every gazer has an observer. You've been chosen to watch yourself end. It frames the sculpture not as art, but as part of a mechanism of observation.
And it breathes and turns.
Yes. Described as breathing, this subtle pulse, and then facing me, physically turning to confront Rena. It's an active participant in her unraveling, a consciousness that watches, judges, consumes.
And this gaze isn't just in a museum. It goes cosmic with Black Sun rising.
Right into the cosmos. Dr. Sila Greaves, the astrophysicist, investigates this terrifying anomaly. The sun splits briefly, creating a black circle in its center. It casts inverted shadows. Light itself warps.
And her conclusion is just mind-bending.
Her final realization after desperate observation, the sun isn't a star, it's a lens, and something on the other side is looking back.
Our sun. A lens. Wow. And there's a connection back to Black Hollow.
A direct link. A black beam rises from the horizon, from the direction of Black Hollow, reinforcing that physical place as connected to this cosmic all-seeing eye.
And the origins of this are in the observatory files.
Yeah.
From that 74 experiment.
Exactly. That classified experiment, meant for missile detection, inadvertently led to the horrifying discovery. We are not observing stars, we are being observed through them.
A terrifying epiphany for those researchers.
Visceral. One researcher, after staring into the telescope, just scribbles frantically, "I saw through time," suggesting the observation was reciprocal, transformative.
And the star moving. The camera screaming.
Yeah, the dome camera catches a star changing position in real time, an impossible intelligent movement. Then the camera just outputs screams, then static. The final image, a distorted star map showing that crossed eye glyph. The Nightverse symbol, revealed as the signature of this cosmic daze.
What stands out here is that observation itself is the vector. Being seen changes you.
Precisely. It implies consciousness is observable only from outside. A horrifying lack of privacy. Constant, unseen scrutiny shaping us. These entities don't just exist, they actively watch and remember. Their gaze is not benign.
Okay, so moving from the how to the where, let's talk nexus points. Where does the Nightverse break through most clearly? Black Hollow seems critical.
Absolutely critical. It's positioned as the place where known reality first really breached, a hub for so many anomalies.
The observatory files gives us the origin, right? That 1974 experiment?
Yeah, supposed to be for missile detection, human security. Instead, it led to the first breach into the unknown. Lorna Cade, a technician there, heard voices in the signal from deep space, felt this distinct directional pressure on her mind.
They had log entry.
Chillingly simple. We opened something, I'm sorry. The place was sealed immediately, supposedly contained, but critically, the source says signal remains active. The breach wasn't contained, it just changed form. A wound that never healed.
And it didn't stop there, it evolved, like in Black Sun Rising.
Exactly. Years later, Dr. Greaves finds the dome sealed, but notes it had been rotated recently, ongoing activity. And the black sun phenomenon, the sun as a lens, directly tied to the observatory, with that black beam rising from its direction, it's still a focal point, a receiver or transmitter.
And it's a destination, too. Alex Reeves' signal points there.
Directly. The Channel 0 signal, with its spatial glyphs and coordinates, maps straight to Black Hollow, implying the signal is originating there, or maybe directing something towards it. A beacon, or target, the geographical anchor for this horror.
And it affects people psychically, too. Miralt's dreams.
Right. Exposed to that frequency and harmonics, she dreams vividly of Black Hollow despite having no prior knowledge of it. Solidifies its role as a nexus, existing physically and psychically, an anchor in minds touched by the signal.
So Black Hollow isn't just a place, it's a keyhole, a wound.
Exactly, a wound in reality, representing humanity's unwitting role in opening passages to, well, whatever these intelligences are. We didn't just observe, we tore a hole.
But it's not just Black Hollow, right? The influence spreads.
Oh yeah, far beyond. It shows the pervasive nature of the Nightverse. Other seemingly unrelated places become conduits too. The deep ocean, deep space, even familiar everyday environments.
The ocean. Echoes of Elias.
It gives us that chilling example. Elias dives way beyond safe zones into the breach trench, a place where physics breaks down, light bends sideways, pressure nullifies, time wobbles.
And he finds something down there.
A breathing, pulsing structure. Ancient, biological, it sounded me, he logs. Like I was a shell it could play. A sonic vibrational invasion. It shows the ocean as this living conduit for transformation where the water remembers better than we do.
And deep space, derelict.
Commander Voss's ship, adrift near deep space signal DMZ-53, right at the edge of known space. They find that black cell inside, pulsing with low harmonics, directly linking deep space as a medium for the signal.
And the ship itself changes.
It starts folding inward, impossibly. A tunnel of non-space emerges within its hull. Space itself becomes mutable, allowing dimensional bleed through, a journey through dimensions.
But the truly insidious part is how it comes home, into everyday spaces.
That's what makes it so unsettling. Aaron's normal home and exit loop becomes a recursive prison. Alex Reeves' radio station, a node for cosmic transmission, a quiet rural art museum in the Gazer.
It reinforces that idea. The Nightverse is not a place, it was a pattern.
Exactly, a pattern that can manifest anywhere, leveraging any medium, water, vacuum, airwaves, reality itself. It's not about finding the haunted house, it's about the pattern finding you. The horror is systemic, pervasive, waiting.
Okay, we've laid out the concepts. Glyphs, signals, identity shifts, the gaze, the nexus points. Now let's really tie them together with specific stories, show how these themes play out. And again, these are the narratives you can experience yourself. Season 1 is fantastic, and it's all free on YouTube, a great way to see this in action.
Let's start with Echoes of Elias again. That deep transformation, we touched on it, but the depth is staggering.
Right, he descends into the trench, finds that structure that sounded him, that vibrational communication. His memories become fluid, unreliable. And him breathing the water, a biological impossibility, shows that complete overhaul.
He's not just surviving, he's being rewritten. Cells, consciousness, repatterned by something alien speaking through vibration. It's pure Nightverse. Biological anomaly. Cosmic transformation. The self overwritten. His final form isn't death, it's incorporation.
Now, harmonics and the Bray Road resonance. This feels like the prime example of how the lore anchors itself in reality, making it feel disturbingly plausible. It really hits the science behind the Nightverse and how this could all be real.
Absolutely. The companion piece, Harmonic Howl, is meticulous about this. It starts with the real unexplained booms in Clintonville, Wisconsin from 2012 to 2023. Real news stories.
Things people actually experienced and couldn't explain.
Exactly. Then it links those booms to infrasonic hums along Bray Road, infamous for cryptid sightings and even untraceable whispers during real train derailments, like one mentioned in Hartford, June 2025. The style is deliberately like a real audio montage, very grounded, documentary feel.
And Dr. Dahl investigates these.
She goes to Wisconsin, tracking seismic readings that don't match geology. Near Bray Road, she records that steady 43.27 hertz hum right in the Nightverse signal range, and this is where it intersects with local folklore.
The Beast of Bray Road.
She connects the hum to sightings of the beast over 7 feet tall, glowing eyes, moving in unnatural bursts, seemingly in rhythm with the hum.
And her hypothesis is radical.
She theorizes these are not mere cryptids, but echoes of elder forms transmitted through frequency, recontextualizing legend as sonic contagion, the science of the Nightverse explaining the cryptid.
And when she plays the hum back,
wildlife freezes, then these low, guttural howls start from no known animal, and she hears a voice in the hum, "Join US!" An invitation to metamorphosis.
the mutation scene is graphic.
Terrifyingly depicted. Surveillance footage shows deer twitching, bones audibly rearranging, repatterned by the signal. A teenager sees a half-man, half-beast hybrid mid-transformation.
And Mira herself.
Her own mutation begins. She realizes the hum carries glyph-like waveforms, her eyes flick yellow, jaw shifts, and horrifyingly, subcutaneous patterning shows fleeting glyph shapes across her skin, those universal symbols appearing on her body. Then, the low, wolf-like growl. Humanity lost.
The final scene, howling into the hum.
Joining it, becoming one with it, while wildlife cams pick up this long, unbroken howl with inverted harmonics, a sound-defying known acoustics. It's human-to-beast conversion, but more. Local legend as cosmic infection, where your bones start to remember the sky, a return to an ancient form triggered by a universal signal.
And the real-world anchors make it so unsettling.
Incredible anchors, Clintonville booms, Bray Road reports back to the 30s, the Hartford derailment, weird bear activity, UFO sightings, all woven in. It creates this disturbing feeling that maybe this isn't all fiction. Maybe folklore is a fragmented record of something real and evolving. Makes you question unexplained phenomena everywhere.
Okay, finally, let's revisit Exit Loop, the personal nightmare of recursion. Because the cosmic scale always hits home personally.
Aaron's story is pure personal torment, but it exemplifies the larger chaos.
What's key about Exit Loop is how it grounds multiversal fragmentation. It's not the universe collapsing, it's your reality collapsing. You're self-fragmenting, insidious internal horror.
Exactly. The fear of replication, of being passed to the next loop, is maybe worse than just being trapped. Existential claustrophobia, not knowing which you is real, becoming a stable echo you can't escape.
Man is explicitly linked to the finale.
Yes. Final entry names him as one of the observers who merged into one, confirming his role as a host for the convergence. Even personal hells are threads in the grand design, interconnected patterns revealing a hidden purpose.
Which brings us to the grand tapestry. The Nightverse as a system. Maybe a simulation of quarantine, now breaking down.
Yeah.
The meta-horror of Final Entry.
Final entry flips the script entirely. It reveals the entries were never isolated. They were fragments of containment. Every story, every horror was part of a larger system designed to hold something back.
So the Nightverse itself was a quarantine.
A simulation of quarantine that is finally broken. This reframes everything. Every character's torment was part of a controlled experiment or a state of being, now catastrophically unraveling. If our reality is a quarantine simulation, what was being contained? And what happens now?
And all the elements have roles in this collapse.
Specific programmed roles. Glyphs are the address code to unlock or reconnect. Signals are instructions for syncing human consciousness into that higher pattern. Characters were hosts, conduits exposed to fragments of the convergence.
And the entities. Not aliens.
Not in the usual sense, more like recursive observers, reflections of universal awareness, testing patterns of self-containment, maybe fundamental cosmic principles testing reality's boundaries.
Final Entry is the climax, the collapse.
The moment all stories end at once, a multi-POV collapse. Every Nightverse story converging inward, an apocalypse for this shared universe.
And the storylines overlap simultaneously.
A symphony of terror. Mira's tone, Voss's log, Sila's warning, Elias breathing water, Aaron merging, Rena becoming stone, all converging at once. Not sequential, simultaneous unraveling.
The glyph activation is the key.
The final cosmic key. Manuscript 29 lines up with the sun flares. Harmonics, waveform, overlays, channel 0 signal, same broadcast. The derelict sphere pulses with the black sun. Mirrors reflect into the glyph spiral. The horrifying realization. The entries weren't transmissions. They were parts of an address.
Every event was a coordinate, leading to this moment.
Exactly. A cosmic puzzle assembled.
And the consciousness collapse. All narrators speaking together.
Total merging, all distinct voices, personal horrors becoming one cacophonous, unified consciousness. Scenes visually overlay. The house beyond the veil's door opens into the derelict's void. A gazer appears on the sun's surface. Voss's cryopod is inside Black Hollow. Dozens of mirrors reflecting different characters, all witnessing the same final horror. Total convergence.
And the sky tears open.
Globally, revealing a non-Euclidean shape slowly rotating. Impossible geometry. It speaks in harmonic pulses, linking back to the first signals. The ultimate breach. The true entity manifesting. Not alien, but something fundamental that redefines reality.
And the final words.
Yeah.
From that calm voice.
Chillingly calm, almost relieved. We always assumed the universe was expanding, but it was just loading. And now we have reached the final frame. Existence as a program. A simulation reaching its end.
And then just end.
The finality. Everything perceived was just set up for this conclusion. It brings all threads together. Not just scary stories, but fundamental questions about reality, consciousness, what lies beyond, watching, loading.
So we've taken this deep dive. Hopefully you see it now. The Nightverse isn't just random tales. It's one terrifyingly interconnected narrative. Every sound, symbol, shifting reality played a part in a grand design that was maybe just loading. And these stories on YouTube, they're like chilling case studies.
Indeed. A universe where every whisper, every symbol was part of an address, a signal, a means to an end that, in the Nightverse, finally arrived.
And this leaves us with a really chilling question, doesn't it? One that reaches beyond the screen into our lives. If that universe was just loading and hit its final frame, what about our reality? What if the signals are still out there, tuning us, listening, just waiting for the next final entry into our story, waiting for our reality to reach its own conclusion?
Maybe listen closely to the whispers between sounds, and perhaps look twice at your own reflection.
Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.